So now we are going to see about reflection and transmission at normal incidence, that is reflection and transmission at normal incidence. Reflection and transmission at normal incidence. So reflection and transmission at normal incidence. Suppose the xy plane forms the boundary between two linear media. Now we are going to consider about two media, medium 1 and medium 2. The xy plane forms the boundary between the two linear medium 1 and medium 2. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis and this is the this one is the z-axis. So x, y and z-axis, this is medium 1 and this is medium 2. Here this xy plane forms the boundary between these two linear media, that is medium 1 and medium 2. So now I am going to draw the boundary, that is this xy plane. It forms the boundary between the two linear media, that is medium 1 and medium 2. Now a plane wave of frequency omega. A plane wave of frequency omega is traveling in the z direction. It's traveling in the z direction. So this is x direction, y direction and z direction. Now a plane wave of frequency omega. Since it is a normal incidence, the wave is going to incident like this. So a plane wave of frequency omega traveling in the z direction and polarized in the x direction. So the plane wave of frequency omega is traveling in z direction and polarized in x direction and polarized in the x direction. So now we are going to consider a plane wave of frequency omega. It is traveling in the z direction and polarized in the x direction and it approaches the interface from the left. So in this from this direction the plane wave is approaching the boundary. So a plane wave of frequency omega is traveling in z direction and polarized in the x direction. Now we are going to write the incident electric field, incident magnetic field and reflected electric field, reflected magnetic field and the transmitted electric field and transmitted magnetic field. Here the wave is going to incident like this. So the incident electric field will be in this direction. Since it is polarized in the x direction, electric field is along this direction, EI. And the velocity of the incident plane wave is V1. In medium 1 we are going to write the velocity as V1. Since the wave is traveling in the z direction, the velocity will be in this direction, that is V1, and the polarization is along the x direction. So electric field of the incident wave is along the x direction. Then the magnetic field and electric field are perpendicular. So the magnetic field is along this direction. The incident magnetic field is along this direction. So this is the incident electric field, this is the incident magnetic field and this is the velocity V1. In medium 1 we are writing it as V1. Similarly the reflected electric field will also be in the x direction, and here if we see it will be in the opposite direction, that is the velocity will be in the opposite direction because the wave will travel in this direction only, but after incidenting at the boundary half of the wave will get reflected. So the reflected wave will travel in the opposite direction. So the velocity here will be in the opposite direction, that is here it is V1. The velocity of the incident wave will be in this direction, the reflected wave velocity is in the opposite direction, but with the same velocity V1 the direction is here is different. The magnetic field is also here in the opposite direction, that is VR. So here the electric field, incident electric field, incident magnetic field, velocity V1, reflected electric field, reflected magnetic field and velocity, here also velocity V1 but in the opposite direction. So then the transmitted electric field. So the wave will incident here, half of the some waves will get reflected and some of them will transmit. So So the transmitted electric field will be in the same x direction, and since the wave will travel in this direction, so you can write it as v2, because in medium 2 the velocity will differ. So while traveling into different medium, the velocity may change. So here we are writing it as v2, and here it is the magnetic field bt. So we have denoted the direction of the incident electric field, magnetic field, and reflected electric magnetic field, transmitted electric and magnetic field. Now we are going to write the equation for the incident electric field and incident magnetic field, that is EI. EI is incident electric field. EI of z comma t is equal to, we have already seen this equation. So E naught I, here we have written one I, which means here also one I, that I denotes the incident field. So the incident electric field, E naught I is the incident electric field amplitude. Then the same thing, e power I k1z minus omega t. Since it is medium 1, we have written k1z minus omega t into x cap. Similarly, the magnetic field Vi of z comma t is equal to b naught I. This b naught I we can write like this. Instead of this b naught I, we can write 1 by v1 into E naught I. So b naught I we can write like this. I have already seen that b naught is nothing but 1 by c into E naught. Since that velocity refers to the velocity of light in the speed of light. So here v1 is the velocity here. This medium, in medium 1 the velocity is v1. So we have written, instead of c we have written v1. 1 by v1 into E naught I into e power I k1z minus omega t into y cap. So equation number 1. So it gives rise to a reflected wave which travels back to the left in medium 2. So the incident wave gives rise to the reflected wave which travels back to the medium 1. So the reflected electric and magnetic field can be written as, so the reflected electric field ER of z comma t. The same equation, but here we have written R. R means reflected wave. So e power here I, since the velocity is in the opposite direction, we have to write minus k1 of z minus omega t into x cap. And similarly the magnetic field BR z comma t is equal to, here instead of 1 by v1 minus 1 by v1, because here the velocity is in the opposite direction. So we have written, we are going to write minus 1 by v1 E naught R reflected electric field amplitude e power I minus k1 z minus omega t into y cap. So e power I minus k1 z minus omega t into y cap. This is the reflected electric and reflected magnetic field. Then the transmitted electric and magnetic field. The transmitted wave is in medium 2. So the transmitted wave which continues to the right in medium 2. So the transmitted electric and magnetic field can be written like this. Et of z comma t is equal to E naught t e power I k2 z minus omega t into x cap. Et is the transmitted electric field. Et of z comma t is equal to E naught t e power I k2 z minus omega t into x cap. Similarly the transmitted magnetic field, that is bt of z comma t is equal to, here it is the velocity in medium 1 is v1, so the velocity in medium 2 is v2, but in the same direction as the incident wave. So here we have written plus. So 1 by v2 into E naught t e power I k2 z minus omega t to y cap. So we have written 3 equations, that is incident electric and magnetic field, then reflected electric and magnetic field, then transmitted electric and transmitted magnetic field. So now we are going to write the boundary condition, that is at z is equal to 0. At z is equal to 0, the combined fields on the left, that is the combined field is here, the incident electric field and the reflected electric field, meets the transmitted electric field Et at z is equal to 0. This is the boundary condition. So at z is equal to 0, the combined fields at the left meets the field at the right side. So the combined fields at the left hand side is EI plus ER, which is equal to ET. So the combined fields here ET plus BT. So EI combined fields on the left, that is EI plus ER, and BI plus BR must join the fields on the right, that is ET and BT. So in case there are no components perpendicular to this surface, electromagnetic boundary condition can be written as. So the electromagnetic boundary condition we are going to write like this, that is the combined fields on the left meets the field at the right, that is E naught I plus E naught R equal to E naught T. So this is equation number 4. So this boundary condition we are writing like this, that is E naught I plus E naught R is equal to E naught T. So in the left hand side we have the electric field EI and ER, which is equal to ET. So the combined fields on the left, that is EI plus ER, which is nothing but E naught I plus E naught R is equal to E naught T. The amplitude we have written like this, E naught I plus E naught R is equal to E naught T at Z is equal to 0. At Z is equal to 0. This is the boundary condition, that is E naught I plus E naught R is equal to E naught T. Then we have to write similarly we can write for B naught I plus B naught R is equal to B naught T. So instead of that B naught I, we can write like this. In terms of E naught I, we already seen that B naught is equal to 1 by V1 into E naught. We have already seen that. So here we are going to write like this, that is 1 by mu 1 into 1 by V1 E naught I minus 1 by V1 E naught R equal to 1 by mu 2 into 1 by V2 E naught T. So here if you see this equation, actually this equation will be like this, that is B naught I plus B naught R is equal to B naught T. The same equation you have write for electric field, no? The same equation is for the magnetic field, that is B naught I plus B naught R is equal to B naught T. But instead of B naught I, we can write like this, 1 by V1 into E naught I, and B naught R is 1 by V1 into E naught R equal to 1 by V2 into E naught T. Here we have added the permittivity. So in medium 1 it is 1 by mu 1, in medium 2 it is 1 by mu 2. Okay. This equation we have, so reflected field we have to write minus. So here we have written this thing, that is 1 by mu 1, 1 by V1 into E naught I minus 1 by V1 into E naught R is equal to 1 by mu 2, 1 by V2 into E naught T. So this is the another boundary condition. So we have two boundary conditions. So in this equation we can take this V1 outside, that is 1 by mu 1 V1 into E naught I minus E naught R equal to 1 by mu 2 V2 into E naught T, mu 2 V2 into E naught T. So here we have written and taken 1 by V1 outside. Now we are going to write this term in the right hand side. It will go to the numerator, that is E naught I minus E naught R equal to mu 1 V1 divided by mu 2 V2 into E naught T. So this term we are going to write this term as beta, that is E naught I minus E naught R equal to beta E naught T, since where beta is equal to mu 1 V1 by mu 2 V2. In terms of refractive index we can write mu 1 N2 divided by mu 2 N1. So here V1 is N2, V2 is N1. In terms of refractive index we can also write like this. So instead of this term we have written beta. So then we have written two boundary conditions, equation number 4, equation number 5, and this one is equation number 6. Now the equation 4 and 6 are, we are going to solve equation 4 and 6. That is from equation 6. First we are going to take equation 6. So from equation 6, E naught I minus E naught R is equal to beta E naught T. E naught I minus E naught R is equal to beta E naught t. From this E naught t we have to we are going to substitute E naught I plus E naught r from equation 4. So from equation 4, instead of this E naught t we are going to substitute E naught I plus E naught r. Therefore E naught I minus E naught r equal to beta into this E naught t we are going to substitute equation 4, that is E naught I plus E naught r. So from equation 4, using equation 4 we are writing this thing, that is E naught I plus E naught r. Then we are going to group this term, that is E naught I and E naught r. So we are going to take the E naught I into the left hand side. So if we take E naught I as a common, we will get 1 minus beta. So this beta, if it goes to the left hand side, it will become minus. So 1 minus beta, which is equal to this E naught r. If it goes to the right, it will become plus. So already we have beta E naught r, this plus E naught r. So E naught r, if we take outside, we will get 1 plus beta. So this E naught r, we are going to write this E naught r as, so 1 by 1 plus beta will go to the denominator, that is 1 minus beta divided by 1 plus beta into E naught I. So equation number 8. Similarly again we are going to take the equation 6 only, but here we have substituted for E naught t, but this time we are going to substitute for E naught r. So now we are going to substitute for E naught r. E naught r from equation 4 we can write E naught r is equal to E naught t minus E naught I. E naught r is equal to E naught t minus E naught I. So again equation 6, we are taking equation 6, that is equation 6 is E naught I minus E naught r is equal to beta E naught t. So in this equation we are going to substitute for E naught r using equation 4. From equation 4 we are going to write for E naught r, that is E naught t minus E naught I. So instead of E naught r we are going to write, from equation 4 we can write like this, E naught r is E naught t minus E naught I. So minus, already we have one minus, so E naught t minus E naught I equal to beta E naught t, equal to beta E naught t. So now again we are going to group the terms, that is here we have E naught I minus E naught t, this minus will go inside, so E naught I minus E naught t plus E naught I equal to beta E naught t. So now here also we are going to group the term, this E naught I and E naught t. So E naught I plus E naught I is 2 E naught I equal to this E naught t, if it goes to the right hand side it will become plus. So E naught t, if we take common, we will get 1 plus beta into E naught t. So from this we can write E naught t. E naught t is equal to 2 by 1 plus beta into E naught I. 2 by 1 plus beta into E naught. E naught t is equal to 2 by 1 plus beta into E naught I. So equation number 8. So equation 8 we have, in equation 8 we obtain the relation for E naught r and E naught I. In equation 9 we have obtained the relation relation between E naught t and E naught I. So now in beta we are going to do an alteration, that is beta we have already seen, that is beta is equal to mu1 v1 by mu2 v2. This equation we have already seen, beta is equal to mu1 v1 by mu2 v2. So in this equation now we are going to take the permittivities are closer to each other. So the permittivities we can write both are equal. We are going to consider these permittivities are values are closer, so we can write beta is equal to v1 by v2. So these permittivities we are going to neglect, so we can write beta as v1 by v2. So now equation 8 can be written as, we have obtained two relations now, that is equation 8 and equation 9. Equation 8 is E naught r is equal to 1 minus beta by 1 plus beta into E naught I. So in this equation we are going to substitute this beta, that is v1 by v2. So in this equation instead of beta we are going to write v1 by v2. So E naught r equal to 1 minus, instead of beta v1 by v2 divided by in this equation. So 1 plus v1 by v2, 1 plus v1 by v2 into E naught I. So E naught R we got like this, that is E naught R is equal to 1 minus v1 by v2 divided by 1 plus v1 by v2 into E naught I. So now we are going to take LCM, that is v2 minus v1 by v2, v2 plus v1 by v2. This v2 and v2 will get cancel each other. So E naught R is equal to v2 minus v1 divided by v2 will come here, v2 plus v1 divided by 1 v2 will come, that v2 and v2 will get cancel each other. So E naught R is equal to v2 minus v1 by v2 plus v1 into E naught I. So this is the reflected wave amplitude. Similarly, equation 9 also we can substitute for beta, that is v1 by v2. So E naught this equation is number 10. So this equation is number 10. So again this E naught T we can write, equation number 9 we can write like this, that is 2 by 1 plus instead of beta v1 by v2 into E naught I, which is equal to 2 by this v2 will go to the numerator. So 2 v2 divided by v2 plus v1 into E naught I. And for E naught T is equal to this, we are writing this 2 v2 divided by v1 plus v2 into E naught I. Equation number 11. So we got two equations, equation 10 and equation 11. Their real amplitudes are related by, real amplitude is nothing but we have to take the modulus, that is the real amplitude. So the real amplitude can be written like this. I think that we are going to take the modulus, that's all. So in equation 10 and equation 11, the real amplitudes. So here you see in equation 10 we are going to take the modulus for this term. So real amplitude we can write like this, E naught R equal to modulus of v2 minus v1 by v2 plus v1 divided by into E naught I. And similarly E naught it is positive only, so no need of taking modulus. So 2 v2 by v1 plus v2, v1 plus v2 into E naught I. So this is equation number 12. In terms of refractive index, we have already seen that v2 is n1 and v1 is n2. So in terms of refractive index, these equations can be written like this, E naught R is equal to n1 minus n2. So instead of v2, n1, v1, n2 divided by n1 plus n2 into E naught I. Similarly, the transmitted amplitude E naught T is equal to 2n1 by n1 plus n2, n2 plus n1, which is equal to n1 plus n2 into E naught I. So this is the amplitude in terms of refractive index. In terms of refractive index, we have written these equations by taking modulus, that is the real amplitude. Again, actually E naught R is a complex term. So now we are taking the real term, real amplitude. Then they refract in terms of refractive index. These two equations can be written like this. And the intensity is given by, the intensity is nothing but average power per unit area. Intensity is nothing but average power per unit area, average power per unit area, and the intensity here can be written like this, that is I is equal to half epsilon V E naught square. So this is the intensity. Then now we are going to write the ratio of the reflected intensity to the incident intensity. Ratio of the reflected intensity to the incident intensity. That is R is the reflection coefficient, which is nothing but the ratio of the reflected intensity divided by incident intensity. Reflected intensity is IR, incident intensity is II. So R is the reflection coefficient, which is nothing but the ratio of the reflected intensity to the incident intensity. So if we take the ratio, that is for the reflected intensity and the incident intensity, we will get E naught R by E naught I, that is E naught R by the other terms will get cancel each other. So here the other terms for incident and the reflected wave, the velocity is same only. So the velocity and everything will get cancelled. So we are going to write the square term, that is E naught R divided by E naught I the whole square. So other terms will get cancelled each other. E naught R by E naught I the whole square, which is equal to this E naught R by E naught I, we can write from equation E naught R by E naught I, you can write from this equation number 10, that is E naught R by E naught I. This E naught I, if it goes to the denominator, E naught R by E naught I is nothing but V2 minus V1 by V2 plus V1. So E naught R minus E naught I, E naught R by E naught I is V2 minus V1 by V2 plus V1. So instead of E naught R by E naught I, we can write V2 minus V1 divided by V2 plus V1. In terms of refractive index, we can write like this, that is N1 minus N2 divided by N1 plus N2. So N1 minus N2 divided by N1 plus N2 the whole square. So we have written the ratio of the incident intensity, ratio of the reflected intensity to the incident intensity, which is nothing but the reflection coefficient. Whereas the ratio of the transmitted intensity to the incident intensity is the transmission coefficient. So this one is the reflection coefficient. The ratio of the transmitted intensity to the incident intensity. Ratio of the reflected intensity to the incident intensity is the reflection coefficient R. Ratio of the transmitted intensity to the incident intensity is the transmission coefficient T, and which is written by IT by II. So this IT by II we can write from this equation, that is IT, transmitted intensity by incident intensity. Here the permittivities and the velocity are different since it is medium 1. In medium 1 we have incident intensity, in medium 2 we have transmitted intensity. So the in medium 2 this value will differ, that is epsilon 2 V2 in medium 2, in medium 1 epsilon 1 V1. So in medium 2 the transmitted intensity will come, so epsilon 2 V2 divided by incident intensity will be in medium 1, so epsilon 1 V1 into IT is E naught T, so E naught T by E naught I the whole square, E naught T by E naught I the whole square. So instead of this E naught T by E naught I, we can write 2N1 by N1 plus N2. So instead of E naught T by E naught I, we can write epsilon 2 V2 divided by epsilon 1 V1. Then E naught T by E naught I, we can write 2N1 by N1 plus N2 the whole square. Now we are going to do some simplification, that is here we have epsilon 2 V2 divided by epsilon 1 V1. So epsilon 2 V2 divided by epsilon 1 V1. So there here epsilon 2 V2 by epsilon 1 V1. So you know in relation, that is we already used, we have used it many times, that is C square is equal to 1 by epsilon naught nu naught. Since this velocity is in vacuum, we can write like this, that is 1 by epsilon naught mu naught, free space, permittivity and permeability in free space. This equation, if you write it for velocity, some velocity v, then it is v square is equal to 1 by some medium, so epsilon into mu. So v we can write like this, v is equal to 1 by root of epsilon mu. If it is medium 1, v1 is equal to 1 by root of epsilon 1 mu 1. v2 it is 1 by root of epsilon 2 mu 2. Here we are going to write epsilon 2 v2. So we have to find epsilon 2 v2, epsilon 1 v1. So from this we can write V1 is equal to, we have written 1 by root of epsilon 1 mu 1. So if we square this term, we will get V1 square is equal to, this root will go 1 by epsilon 1 mu 1. So actually we need epsilon 1 V1. So for epsilon 1 V1, we are going to take this epsilon 1 here and 1 V1 into the denominator, that is epsilon 1 to the left hand side. So epsilon 1 V1 square is equal to, epsilon 1 V1 square is equal to 1 by mu 1, and this, if 1 V1 will come to the denominator, then epsilon 1 V1 is equal to 1 by mu 1 V1. So instead of this epsilon 1 V1, we can write 1 by mu 1 V1. Similarly, if we simplify this equation, we will get epsilon 2 V2 is equal to 1 by mu 2 V2. So this term we are going to write like this. Instead of epsilon 2 V2, we are going to write 1 by mu 2 V2, and instead of epsilon 1 V1, we are going to write 1 by mu 1 V1. So this term will go to the numerator and this term will be in the denominator, since we have this reciprocal. So this term will be in the numerator and this term will be in the denominator. So we can write like this, that is mu 1 V1 by mu 2 V2. The transmission coefficient here, T know the transmission coefficient, which is equal to, instead of this term we are writing these two things. So the numerator term will become denominator and the denominator term will become numerator. So mu 1 V1 by mu 2 V2 into 2n1 divided by n1 plus n2 the whole square. So here we know that V1 is so here we have written, instead of mu 1 v epsilon 2, we have written like this, that is mu 1 V1 divided by mu 2 V2 into 2n1 divided by n1 plus n2 the whole square. So which is equal to, if we take this permeability is same, then this term will go. If we take the permeability is same, that is mu 1 and mu 2 are same, this term is negligible, but velocity is not same, since in medium 1 it is V1 and medium 2 it is V2. So in terms of refractive index, this can be written like this. Instead of V1 we have to write n2, V2 we have to write n1 into 2. If we square this term, 4 n1 square divided by n1 plus n2 the whole square. So this one n1 and n1 will get cancelled. So 4 n1 into n2 divided by n1 plus n2 the whole square. This is the transmission coefficient. So here R is the reflection coefficient and T is the transmission coefficient. They measure the fraction of incident energy that is reflected and transmitted. So it measures the fraction of energy which is reflected and transmitted. So in R is the reflection coefficient and T is the transmission coefficient. They measure the fraction of incident energy. They measure the fraction of incident energy that is reflected and transmitted. How much it is reflected and transmitted. It measures the ratio. So R is the reflection coefficient, T is the transmission coefficient. It is the measure of the fraction of incident energy which is transmitted and reflected respectively, and also this R plus T is equal to 1 always. This R plus T is equal to 1. So that's all. Thank you.